Good afternoon, folks. It's the real Captain Kirk here. It's the 13th of August, 2022, here Saturday afternoon, live from One Bethlehem Plaza here in downtown Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Every year about this time, we have our big music festival here in downtown Bethlehem, brings in about 1 million people. If you want to check out our weather cams here, weathertrends360.com/weather-cams, and look for that south-facing camera, you'll see the big fireworks show here. Pretty awesome. Again, right outside our building here. So it's pretty loud and pretty neat. So again, check out those weather cameras for, again, Sunday evening, probably around 9:30 here. Thought we'd do a real quick recap here of summer trends here. Now, again, this is year-on-year trends, how our customers look at the weather. Colder start, obviously, we had in June, then a hotter, much hotter July, and then now a cooler trend here in August. So those bars are just a change from a year ago. Slightly cooler here in the U.S., but again, if you average the cool, the hot, and the cooler, again, still second hottest in 37 years. Dry for sure, 33% drier than last year. Number one driest. Again, wholesale change from last year when it was the number one wettest. So again, a big change here on the precip front. We're going to talk long-range weather and, again, what we do for big retail and seasonal category sales out a year. You better be able to validate it, and we do this for millions of locations. So this is the easy view here. Again, so the bars the year forecast, dotted lines the actual for that same chart. Temperature trends about 82% right. The error in these forecasts is less than a week 2 physics-based forecast. Rainfall is about 90% accurate, capturing the cooler, drier trends here for the end of August. So it looks like that's going to hit as well. So doing well here on the summer front. Next step then is just to take accurate weather forecasting and apply it to seasonal sales analytics to project those sales everywhere on Earth by week out a year. So again, it's pretty cool technology. Last week's summary here now, this is week ending tonight here, the 13th of August. Here in the U.S., it was about 1.6 cooler than last year, coolest in 3 years, still 9th warmest in 37 years, above average, 15% drier than last year, driest in 7 years, 13th driest in 7 years. So again, cooler, drier, probably still has us on the beach, but again, so not overly favorable for back-to-school sales, but again, cooler or wetter would be the trend we'd be looking for. Canada, a little bit cooler than last year. Real hot spots there in the UK. You've been reading the headlines there. 6.6 degrees warmer than last year, warmest in 25 years. So they're buying up all those cold weather, things to keep cool. Air conditioners, fans, lots of bottled water and beverages. China, also the hot spot, warmest in 9 years. Cooler down under, Australia, coolest in 3. Brazil, coolest in 9. Again, so maps, bottom left there are the trends versus average. Thought we'd talk hurricanes here. Again, hurricane season. Again, we've only got 3 named systems so far this year. We'll talk about why this has been a little bit of a slow start. A lot of folks thought it'd be a way above average season, and we still believe it's going to end up being above average. Particularly a threat here now that we'd be close in from Florida to the northeast, as far here as even New York City area. So East Coast would be our kind of favorite pick for the rest of the season. One of the reasons for the suppression of activities is the dust coming off Sahara Africa. So again, that suppresses activity, and certainly been the case here. So this animation here, the next 10 days, again, shows that waning a bit. So we'll see here the peak of the season is September, October. We'll see if we can crank out some major systems here. But so be on guard, Florida, East Coast. You're still not out of the woods. If we look at the ocean temperatures here, they kind of explain some of what's going on too here. We see this blob, that warm left map there is ocean temperatures versus an anomaly. That blob happened in 13, 14, 15, and again, that led to some epically cold winters, snowy winters here in the U.S. So we'll see. It's slightly displaced west from that period, but we'll see. La Nina, cold, positive AMO, warm Atlantic. And you see there where the Sahara dust has been, that gray area in the ocean there is, again, kept it, the oceans a little bit cooler. Again, so less sun blocking from that dust, and had a pretty profound effect here. So we'll see what happens here with the hurricane season here as it gets toward the peak of the season. This week, week ending 20 August here in the U.S., about a 1.1 degree cooler than last year, coolest in 4 years, 17th warmest, so in the middle of the pack. Precip trends, we'll see if it's going to be this dry, but again, we had it year-ahead being very dry here at the end of August and certainly playing out that way. 74% drier than last year, number one driest in 37 years, so much below average again. Last year, one of the wettest. So wholesale change from a year ago. Again, cooler trends here in the east for sure. We're enjoying the cooler, low humidity weather for sure. Hot spot, again, toward the northwest, and that may even get hotter. We look at the last week of August here, week ending 27 August now. About 1.5 degrees cooler than last year, coolest in 3 years, 8th warmest in 37 years, so still above average. Again, very, very hot Pacific Northwest and much cooler Central. They'll take it for sure after the heat they've had. Still number one driest. Again, 79% drier than a year ago, number one driest. So we'll see if it's quite that dry, but just remember, droughts end in floods, and hurricanes are typically the catalyst to break this kind of a cycle. So we'll see that happens again this year. The 2-week world aggregate here is, again, just shows the cooler trends in the central U.S., southeast. Cool start in the northeast, and then moderating. Hot spot's going to be the Pacific Northwest for sure. Europe, not quite as hot there in UK, but southern UK certainly looks hot. Heat's shifting a bit toward Eastern Europe and southwest Russia. Preset map inset left. Apologize for missing the video here last week. Took the Mrs. Captain Kirk to her birthday weekend again. So we were doing their new favorite thing to do in the world, and that's sailing in the ocean. So my little one here is Moana. If you know the Princess Moana, she enjoyed it to say the least. The other thing, again, I'm not a Navy guy. I'm an Air Force guy, so you can't just do boats, so we had to make sure we got an airplane, and so we did that as well. Here, I'll show you the next slide here quick. So they were looking on the beach for something. They didn't know what until this airplane flew by. And again, let's just see that here. But advertising in the right weather works. Again, happy wife, happy life. So they were pretty happy. They did a happy dance here at the end to see their name in the sky. So again, happy birthday to the Mrs. Captain Kirk. And again, the reason why we were incognito here last week. So with that, folks, we hope you have a great week. We will be here again for sure this time next week.